All right, y'all. So I'm going to talk about, did Lincoln really free the slaves? This is a hot button topic that nobody really wants to get into. I mean, everybody knows that, Lincoln the tyrant, raised up an army to invade people who, quite frankly, just wanted to be left alone. Well, of course, it is said that with the Emancipation Proclamation, it freed all the slaves. Not true. I am going to, you know what? I'm actually going to read this in full. This is a transcript of the Emancipation Proclamation that went into effect January 1st, 1863. By the President of the United States of America, a proclamation, whereas on the 22nd day of September in the year of our Lord, 1862, a proclamation was issued by the President of the United States containing, among other things, the following to wit: that on the first day of January in the year of our Lord, 1863, all persons held as slaves within any state or designated part of a state, the people whereof shall then be in rebellion against the United States, shall be then thenceforward and forever free. And the executive government of the United States, including the military and naval authority thereof, will recognize and maintain the freedom of such persons, and will do no act or acts to repress such persons, or any of them, in any efforts that may make for their actual freedoms. That the executive will, on the first day of January aforesaid, by proclamation, designate the states and parts of states, if any, in which the people thereof respectively shall then be in rebellion against the United States, and the fact that any state or people thereof shall on that day be in good faith represented in the Congress of the United States by members chosen thereto at elections wherein a majority of the qualified voters of such states shall have participated, shall, in the absence of strong countervailing testimony, be deemed conclusive evidence that such state and the people thereof are not in rebellion against the United States. Therefore, I, Abraham Lincoln, President of the United States, by virtue of the power in me vested as Commander in Chief of the Army and the Navy of the United States in time of actual armed rebellion against the authority and government of the United States, and as a fit and necessary war measure for suppressing said rebellion, due on this first day of January in the year of our Lord, 1863, and in accordance with my purpose to do so publicly proclaimed for the full period of 100 days from the day first above mentioned, order and designate as the states and parts of states wherein the people thereof respectively are this day in rebellion against the United States, the following to wit. Now, y'all listen carefully: Arkansas, Texas, Louisiana, except the parishes of St. Bernard, Plaquemine, Jefferson, St. John, St. Charles, St. James, Ascension, Assumption, Terrebonne, Lafourche, St. Mary's, St. Martin, and Orleans, including the city of New Orleans, Mississippi, Alabama, Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, and Virginia, except the 48 counties designated as West Virginia, and also the counties of Berkeley, Accomack, Northampton, Elizabeth City, York, Princess Anne, and Norfolk, including the cities of Norfolk and Portsmouth, and which accepted parts are for the present left precisely as if this proclamation were not issued. But I thought he freed slaves in all the states. Nope, except the counties in Virginia and the parishes in Louisiana. And why was basically most of southeast and south central Louisiana, why were they excluded? Because New Orleans and surrounding areas, which would be Orleans, St. Bernard, Plaquemine, Jefferson, St. John, St. Charles. I mean, that's New Orleans area, and now we're heading toward Baton Rouge. St. James, Ascension, Assumption, Terrebonne. You ever follow the Highway 90 corridor? You going down that way, going down toward Houma, Lafourche. You know, they were allowed to keep their slaves because they were under federal control by 1862. So, did Lincoln really free the slaves? Not really. So, if the war was over slavery, why does that proclamation allow parts of the South in Union control to keep their slaves? I think I just shot your argument down. I think that proves pretty conclusively that the war was not fought over slavery. It was fought over power. Lincoln didn't give a damn about slaves. He didn't care. Lincoln was a tyrant. I will admit that the war was fought over Lincoln's election. That was a big player of it. I will further admit that Lincoln wasn't even on the ballot in most southern states, but yet he somehow managed to win the election. I will admit that secession was completely over his election. Not that it wasn't tried before anybody knew who the hell Abraham Lincoln was. But I think that proves that the war wasn't fought over slavery, and Lincoln didn't give a damn about him. Y'all let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you for watching.